We boarded the flight. We sat there for about 5-10 minutes. I noticed that they had stopped boarding additional passengers. And it was at that point that I saw the captain coming in and out of the cockpit multiple times. He then got on the PA system at the front of the plane so we could see him, address the fact that there was a computer issue from the FAA that was nationwide. And because of that reason, the flight was not only going to be delayed, but that we were going to need to deplane. There were no real upsetness on the plane. Everybody deplaned very quickly, very orderly. Even right now, I haven't seen anybody really upset at all. There's very, very short lines at each of the gates, but United, I can speak for, has been very, very proactive, very responsive in terms of providing meal vouchers, providing updates, and even here at the gate, they have snacks and water for guests as well. And I'm also really happy to see that passengers as well, as frustrated and disappointed as they might be, there seems to be a very relaxed atmosphere here. Kids are playing soccer in the middle of the walkway with their parents. Everybody's eating and has coffee. So at least for right now, everybody seems happy and very, very patient.
I basically woke up this morning at like 4:30 because I slept in the airport and I was like, okay, I'm ready for my 6 a.m. flight. And then I saw that FAA was ground stopping all the flights, and I was like, oh, is this like another Southwest situation where like it affects one airline? And then I figured out it was every single flight in the nation was ground stopped. And I was like, oh, I found out via Twitter before any flight attendant said anything. I think by the time flight attendants said anything, it was about an hour and a half later. Basically, every single concourse that I was at was basically saying, guys, according to the FAA, every single flight is ground stopped and we can't really do anything. So you guys got to sit tight. And then there were people that were boarding planes at like 5-6 a.m. that had to get off their plane because they were basically on the tarmac for like an hour and a half. And then they came back because they couldn't go anywhere.
So the system is very important. It's called the Notice to Air Missions, and the FAA just changed the name of that system. For decades, it was called Notice to Airmen, but it's now Notice to Air Missions. And this is a safety system. It's a status system. It provides status to airlines and pilots operating flights of conditions across the country at the airports. You know, is a runway closed? Are there other operating constraints at a particular airport, be it altitudes, type of approaches, right? There's instrument landing systems, there's radio navigation procedures. You know, pilots use different methods for landing at an airport, and different airports have different capabilities. I'd have to say it's very unusual because this, you know, I've covered this sector for over 10 years, and this is the first time that I'm familiar with this system being unavailable. So that doesn't mean it hasn't happened before, but in my memory, this is the first time. Typically, the airlines are responsible for compensation to customers when their inability to operate a flight is controllable. You know, it's because of something that happened at the airline. You know, an FAA action, a ground stop, you know, my gut tells me there's going to be very little compensation, so very little financial impact to the airlines. You know, customers, passengers who aren't intimate with how the air system works, you know, there's going to be some upset people, and if there are very long delays, you know, people will look for compensation, and the airlines will, you know, entertain those requests on a case-by-case basis. But, you know, for this event, our opinion is that it's not going to be material from a financial perspective.